Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of the Indigo Women podcast. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Cricket, and today is also summer solstice. So, on this episode, we will be hosting a summer solstice ceremony, which is very, very exciting. So, if you're new to Indigo Women, welcome. This is not the usual way that we do our podcast episodes. This is a little bit of a special event. And if you are a returning Indigo Woman, welcome back. We're so happy to have you here. And we hope that you enjoy this little special way of doing things today. So I would like to start by introducing my dear friend, Cricket. Cricket is a ceremonialist. She's been in my life for about a decade now, which is just my favorite thing. She's my favorite reflector. And Cricket, would you like to take a moment and introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah, wow. Super honored to be here and to be working in this program with you and joining our energies together during solstice, specifically the illumination of the sun, the day where the sun and the is at its peak of high frequency availability to penetrate into our physical body and into our realities to illuminate the dark places that we've been working with. I'm excited to work with you, Nat, for a lot of reasons. I believe in the Indigo program and in the Indigo community. And I'm super excited to be able to hold space for the unfolding of what Indigo is becoming, and also for the individual women who are joining us in spirit, in physical reality, and over the internet too.
Beautiful. Yes. So, can you please tell us a little bit about what the energy of the summer solstice is all about today?
Yeah, definitely. So like I had mentioned, the solstice is about the summer solstice is about the illumination. It's about the highest, it's the sun is at its peak of availability for us in the physical experience. So that metaphysically means that it's a time of amplified intuition. Specifically, it can be used to allow your heart to open and for your intuitive self to guide you towards your North Star. So as we're working ceremoniously today, that is one of the things Nat and I are going to be talking about is the technology that we're going to be working with is to harness the ability to allow the intuitive self to guide us towards our North Star and to our intention of being in the physical, and also what our heart is guiding us towards that we haven't even realized yet. So the high frequency surrounding solstice can be used to honor the collective awakening. That's what we're doing today. That's a big intention. And this influx of life force energy can be used to consciously choose to engage with love and with the illumination that comes from the connection with the higher self. So it's a conscious choice. It's the way that the paradigm is shifting right now. It's the choosing of love over the choosing of fear. It's the choosing to claim the new earth and the frequencies that are available with the new earth, and to willingly, intentionally let go of the patterning and the things that weren't working. You know, the habitual practice that is comfortable. It's comfortable, but it's not good. So solstice is the energies surrounding solstice we can utilize to penetrate into the spaces to allow the illumination, so that we have more strength, we have more oomph, there's more energetic power to help us to let go of those old paradigm habits and repetitive thoughts. That's what the solstice is good for.
I love that. Thank you. It makes me really happy how much all of this has aligned, because we've talked about how Indigo Women is really about meeting women in the summer of their life, right? So they've really gone through, we really speak to women who have done a lot of their shadow work and a lot of their shadow integration, and they've gotten to the other side of it, and they're going, okay, well, what do I get to be now? I did the work, I did the integration, I did the deep dive on my ego and on my shadow self, and now I'm in this maintenance phase of spirituality, but I'm also in this growth phase of who I get to really become, and what sort of creativity do I get to play with, and how do I amplify my potential in this realm of reality that we're working with. And I love that Indigo Women is really getting off the ground. You know, we begin our activation in just 3 days, and we're using this summer solstice to really create that intention of opening up that energetic frequency so we can ride that wave, and we can really step into this beautiful space where we get to flourish and play and discover and grow and create and just enjoy the summertime of life, the summertime phase of life. So this makes me really
Mm.
happy. And it also gets me curious about what theme you chose for this summer
Mm.
solstice ceremony. So can you share that with us?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. The meeting we meeting our community, our container opening, activating during the illumination of the sun and all of that higher potential, that energetic potential that can resonate and activate. And I mean, even cellularly, DNA, like our DNA can activate on levels that were previously unavailable, and that we're holding this container not only today, but we're like embarking on this journey at this time is just wow. I'm so super excited. And so to that, what our theme is for today is the actualization of living a life of pure potential. And so that is what our ceremony is based around, and what Nat and I are going to be holding space for the whole container of the Indigo Women. That is our desire to see each and every individual, including ourselves, and each and every individual's family, live in their highest potential to and to actualize their own power, their own creative, intuitive abilities.
Yes. So I'm excited about this because the idea of stepping into that frequency of pure potential is something that came to you in a vision, right?
Yes, it was very strong.
Would you mind telling us about that?
Yeah, for sure. Um, So I remember that morning because I left you a really long voice message while I was still in the trance from the vision. I was still actively downloading information from it. And I was so excited because it had to do with not only my own unfolding, but it had to do with the unfolding that we are holding space for the indigo container. And the theme of my vision was surrounding the most beautiful butterfly, or sorry, the most beautiful hummingbird. She was magenta. She had blue in her tail and she had blue in her wings, and she shimmered, but mostly she was magenta, and she had the most beautiful song and the most beautiful voice. The thing of the where the vision began was that the most beautiful hummingbird had been locked in a cage. So at the point where the vision picked up for me, she had already become accustomed to living in this cage, and she was singing anyway. And as she was singing, well, I'm going to tell you the story. I wrote you guys a story for summer solstice, and I'd love to read it so that you can see where the vision went. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up on my computer because my printer was having emotional problems this morning. Okay, so Thank you, sisters, for listening. Thank you for all that are here live. And thank you to all that will be coming, will be listening in the future. This is for you. Aho. This is a story of the most beautiful hummingbird caught in a cage. She had no perception of how long it had been, long enough to no longer identify her confinement as such. Her vision had grayed because she could no longer see the stars, and the awareness that it was not her choice to be in the confinement had fled long ago. Only occasionally did the tribulations of her soul bubble up. A special trick added to the confinement was that the ceiling was given the ability to holographically project the cosmos. And the cosmos at the time of the entrapment held a different narrative than the star map that lives and breathes. Because she could no longer see the real stars, she eventually lost track of her internal navigation system and eventually forgot what it was to reference the inner knowing and what it was like to fly through the creation. In the beginning, she had to be forced to keep flying, perching, breathing, to keep reading. The spark of life was so squelched by the confinements and the false navigational tools that she had lost her voice and her ability to hear her own heart speak. As time passed, she lost the memories of what it was like to be free. So long ago now had she been caged, and because she needed to keep living, she adapted her abilities and beauty to fit into the bars of confinement. And so her children were never told of how the sky used to move and of the stories it would tell. All they knew when they looked to the star map of the sky was the story being told from inside the cage and of the projection of the hologram. Eventually, because of her nature, she couldn't help but return to her songs that are the songs of life. And the only way of these songs is to bring life, fruition, and magic. And so they did. They restored her to the point that some of her color began to return, some of her heart returned, and she could be pleased with that which she birthed despite the confinement. Because of the work that she had been doing to restore herself and to nurture the creation surrounding her, a time came when she again could feel the movements of her own heart. As she returned her focus to her heart, stillness and a timeless sense of quiet arose. In this quiet, she could hear the voice of her heart. And as she listened to her heart speak, the vision from her inner eye began to awaken. It was then that she remembered that the greater star map existed. And as she remembered, the gaze of her inner eye allowed her to see through her confinement. Suddenly, she was able to see the greater star map despite the holographic projection. She was able to perceive outside of the confinement. And as she held her focused intention, her faculties began to return. Her color brightened to its fullest extent. Her true voice returned. And it was then that she realized her ability to melt and transform the framework that surrounded her. In this way, we engage, we consciously engage with spoken words of power that are birthed from the heart informed by the connection to the highest self and the divine being in body. We are the creators of what surrounds us. And together, we are here to utilize the pure potential that is available. When I saw when I saw this vision, and I saw the most beautiful hummingbird locked inside of a cage, who had been whose eyes had been grayed because she could no longer see her navigational tools, which are the stars, which are our navigational tools. Those tools have been hidden from us. And as women, we are awakening. And this story, this vision, has to do with the great awakening that is here, and that Natalie and I are here and present to hold space for. As I saw the vision of the most beautiful hummingbird, and as I felt her energy and I felt her vibrancy coming back and her voice coming back, and she began to sing. And as she was singing, I saw her transform the bars that had been encaging her. She melted them. And what I saw was like a great burning, a great fire was lit. And this great fire is available for us in community so that we can burn each other, so we can support each other, love each other through the transformation of their own cage, so that it just falls away. It's no longer, it's like, the beautiful thing of this vision was that my helpers were very specific about the focus being shifted from woe is me, all of this condition is set around me like stone, and I am helpless to push or maneuver or rearrange the room in the way that I desire. So to shift the focus from that into, it is no longer even an issue, because the melting of the framework happened in such a fluid way that it was because she decided that it was no longer an oppression. She could see the star map far beyond the holographic projection. And because she returned to the truth of her heart and she allowed herself to speak, to sing from that place of pure joy and pure knowing, the framework just melted from around her. And it can be that way for us too. And that's why we're here today.
That story, oh my God, it gives me such an emotional reaction when you tell it. And I think the two things that resonate with me the most is that she had everything she needed in her heart all along.
Mm-hmm.
And the story of the Indigo Woman is that we recognize the conditioning that has happened and how it has really deafened us to the sound of our own hearts. But as we peel back those layers and as we remember that guiding force within us, it brings the color back. And not only does it bring the color back for ourselves, but we can help remind one another of each other's color and of each other's ability to melt the cages around us. And it's this combination of remembering our own truth and also reminding one another of the truth within each of us. And I love that because it's a collective uprising. It's a collective remembering. It's a communal shift in consciousness that has nothing but pure potential.
Yeah. Yes, my skin is tingling.
So beautiful. So now that we have set that intention with this story, and thank you so much for sharing that, it was beautiful. Would you like to set the stage for the ceremony?
Yes. So just what Nat had spoken right now, and with the whole theme of the story coming through, this is our intention for the container that we build ceremoniously around the indigo women and around any program that is run and around it's essentially the foundation of where Nat and I are standing from. And also any public ceremony that I offer on the full moon or new moon or any of the Sabbats, this is the position that we will be presenting from. This is the energy that will be held for the community. So with that in mind, the way that we will hold our ceremonies and how we're holding ceremony today is first by honoring the 4 directions. First off, let me mention, I'm a mesa carrier from the Paco Cuna tradition of the high Andes of Peru and Bolivia. I've been apprenticed by a family member of the Caro Indians, and they are the keepers of the way of the nature mystic, which is what the Paco Cuna is. It's a tradition of nature mysticism, of where human being is reminded of how to integrate, how to merge oneself again into nature and into the balance that is our birthright. That is what that is the right way. Our tradition calls it Aini. It's the balance of all things. It's the Paco Cuna tradition is the sacred Aini of being. And so when we open ceremony, we call the directions, and I'm calling from a South American perspective because that's what I've been trained in. So in the calling of the corners, the intention with it is to connect in with the energies and the keepers of each of those quadrants. In any indigenous medicine tradition, the students are taught to make relationship with the keepers of any space you may walk into, including a house, including a city, also the quadrants themselves. So we're talking to the keepers. I've built relationship with the keepers of the South, the West, the North, and the East. And so every time I activate in ceremonial setting, I call to them because we're calling their power to our central location. So we're opening a portal that is built on pure potential and is the way to access the powers of each of the directions and each of the elements to speak from our hearts, from our divine connection to our higher self, through our hearts, through our voice. The channel of our voice is how we actualize in the manifest reality. And so this is the intention with holding ceremony, and this is the way to activate your own power and your own potential in your own life. And so together, Nat and I will do that. And first we will call the 4 directions, and then she and I will say prayers in the sacred space that we create together. So let's drop into ourselves. Just if you're watching this live, go ahead and close your eyes. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Take a deep inhale and a full long exhale. And be with me as I connect to the frequencies of each direction. To the South and the keepers of the South, I say hail and welcome. Ampwe, Ampwe, Ampwe means come here with familiarity, with love, come here now. Ampwe, Ampwe, Ampwe to the Pachamama, the Earth Mother. Ampwe, Ampwe, Ampwe to the Sachamama, the Great Serpent. The serpent that brings the darkness into the light, and teaches us to shed our skin as she sheds hers. Amboy, such a mama. May we shed our skin now, today, that which is no longer needed. And may we move into the new paradigm and into the new the opportunities, the new energetics that the new paradigm and the new earth provide. Hail and welcome, Great Mother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the west and the keepers of the west. Mama Kocha, the ocean, hail and welcome. Mama Kia, the moon, hail and welcome. Mama Unu, Mother Water, we say hail and welcome. To this feminine element, this feminine direction, we say welcome to the sacred feminine, remembering herself in the material world. Ampwe. To the jaguar, Antarango, Ampwe. Jaguar who achieves what she stalks. Teach us to bullseye approach what we are seeking in life and to achieve that which we have put our effort and power into, our grace into. Antarango. Teach us to stalk with quietness and the stealthiness of the jaguar, to go unperceived by eyes that would thwart our efforts. Hail and welcome to the power of the South. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To the north and the keepers of the north, hail and welcome. Hail and welcome, Wilka Waira, the father of the winds, the keeper of our sacred voices. Ampwe, Waira, the father of the four directions, who is always going and always coming. Teach us to be free and as the wind, easily moving and always moving in the direction it intends to move. Expansive. Hail and welcome to this power. And to Siwar Kinti, the hummingbird, we speak to you too. Ampwe, Siwar Kinti. You who sees the nectar in life and bulldozes head first into the most beautiful succulent flowers. May we too see the nectar in life. May we too focus on the sweetness of life. Everything else exists, and yet we find the sweetness, and we dwell in that space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the east and the keepers of the east, hail and welcome to the masculine element, to the Father, Son, Inti Taita, Ampwe, Inti Taita. We celebrate you this day. And to the masculine meeting the feminine, to the feminine meeting the masculine. We call in that sacred union and that sacred exchange here in this container. Inti taita ampwe 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 to the Sacred Father, and to Kuntar, the condor, ampwe 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 Kuntar, the one who soars high above the singularity and allows us the perception from the point high above the singularity. Kuntar, transform our vision that we may know each individual tendril and each individual purpose within this web of life that we all share. Expand our visions here in this container. Muchas gracias, muchas gracias, muchas gracias. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're all present. They're all looking at us. So I'll invite our prayers now to those that are listening or to those who will be listening. We invite your prayers through the power of your heart, quietly within yourself. Allow yourself to be receptive to the energies and to the prayers that your own heart speaks. As Nat and I share our heartfelt intentions for our community and for the building. Connecting in to my higher self, my higher nature, from that viewpoint of Kuntar, and from that viewpoint of Siwar Kinti, and of that viewpoint of Jaguar Antarango, and in the interest of shedding all skin that is no longer needed, from the viewpoint of Sachamama, I allow my highest self to speak through my heart, through the gateway of my voice. I pray for my sisters. I pray for the Indigo Project. I invite the power of the Four Mothers here into this project to reach to the four corners of this earth and of this energetic place. May we move into the new paradigm together, unified with the energies, forgetting what it once was to oppose the energies. May our eyes be to the greater star map, and may our souls and our hearts remember the reason for the incarnation and remember the beauty and the potential that is available now. Aho.
May we listen and may we hear. May we know intimately the intuitive voice that guides. May we strengthen that connection of intuitive knowing, of hearing, of embodying both our higher selves, one another, and all the other spirit guides that are here to light the path. Aho.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm seeing a peacock and I am drawn into the beautiful colors of the peacock and the beautiful glistening of the iridescence and the reflection of light in the patterns of the peacock's tail and of the colors that can shimmer through. And in being drawn into that, I am inspired to ask for humility for all those who work with indigo, for Natalie, for myself, for the humility to walk in our power and our potential, power that is the potential, that is the life force coming through. May we wield it with humility and always, always, always turn to our highest self in communion with the divine in order to create the beauty that in the world around us. And we surrender this great beauty to the divine. May Mother, Father, God bless this journey, bless this vision, and bless this project. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho.
And may we respect ourselves, one another, the earth that we walk on, the spiritual realms that we connect to, the art that we create. May there always be respect and reverence for one another, for all perspectives, for all stories, for all truths, for all that comes through, for all that moves through, for all that is. Respect for one another, respect for nature, respect for ourselves. May we remember, Aho.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I invite the divine in a way that was previously misunderstood, was previously not understood, was previously unavailable. I invite the divine in, the breath of life in to this project to inspire. We invite the divine in and let go of all expectation of outcome. We invite the divine presence here now and always through this project, through our lives and through the lives of those that join us. May we see miracles. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho.
May we be guided. May every step of this project be guided. Allow us to surrender our egos so that we may hear and know, give and serve, love, create, connect, and enjoy. May this entire project be for the good of all, for the good of me, for the good of you, for the good of the planet. Aho.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And in this celebration of life, we give immense gratitude to all directions, to all the helpers, and to all the levels of being. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the nourishment that is here. Thank you for the nourishment that is coming. Thank you to the East and the keepers of the East for being present with us. Thank you to the North and the keepers of the North for being present and attentive to us. Thank you to the West, the keepers of the West, for being here and attentive to our ceremony, to our speaking. And thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, Pachamama. Thank you for birthing us. Thank you for holding us. Thank you for sustaining us. Thank you to the South and the keepers of the South. Anaiki, Anaiki, Anaiki. The home, the portal is closed and our prayers were heard. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Cricket.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I'm so excited for life. I'm so excited for the great potential. I'm so excited for this project.
It is so exciting, and it's here, you know?
Here.
It's already here. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in today, who watched live, and who is listening to this replay. We really appreciate you. We're so excited to be opening this channel, opening this door for all that's to come within the Indigo Women container. We hope that you join us as things continue to bloom and blossom and grow and pop up, and who the heck knows what's going to happen here, but we know that it's going to be a very beautiful, communal, respectful, open, and understanding place. So thank you so much for facilitating this ceremony today, Cricket. It was wonderful. And I look forward to having you back on a future episode very, very soon.
Awesome. Sounds so good. Mwah.
Mwah. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye.